A couple is seen having an intimate moment, after which the woman goes to the living room. She puts on music and prepares a drink. Returning to the bedroom, she sits on the bed and notices a light outside the house. The man finishes his shower and goes to the bedroom, where he sees a bloody note on the window saying, "You're next." Right after that, he witnesses the woman dead on the porch, and he is in shock. Turning around, a figure wearing a lamb mask grabs him by the throat and kills him with a machete. Paul and Aubrey drive to their vacation house in order to celebrate their 35th wedding anniversary, along with their children and their partners. As Aubrey is sweeping the floor in the dining room, she hears footsteps coming from upstairs. Paul comes in and tells her that he has lit the furnace in the basement. Aubrey tells him that someone is in the house and panics. Paul tells her to wait outside as he goes upstairs to check if there is any intruders. Paul searches the second floor and goes to open a closet door when he is startled by his son, Crispin, who mentions something about his mother crying outside. Paul asks him to come with him, and the room is now empty, or that is what they think, as the closet door now slowly opens a little. Outside, Paul reassures Aubrey that everything is alright. Although a little bit awkward, Aaron is then introduced to Crispin's parents. Later on, Crispin tells Aaron that his father bought the house to fix it up as a retirement project of his. The couple lies down in bed, and before they go to sleep, Crispin says that his family reunion is going to be interesting. Late that night, Aubrey is being watched by a masked person outside the house. In the morning, Crispin tries to catch up with his older brother, Drake, and his wife, Kelly. Aaron offers to help Aubrey with the chores, and she goes to borrow milk from Eric, a neighbor living nearby. But she doesn't know that Eric and his wife Talia have been brutally murdered the night before. Shortly, the rest of Paul and Aubrey's children arrive, along with their partners. Aaron meets Crispin's sister, Amy, and Tariq, her boyfriend, as well as Crispin's younger brother, Felix, and his girlfriend, Z. At dinner, Drake discusses with Tariq about his work and insinuates about Crispin's relationship with Aaron. A heated argument then flares up between the two brothers. Tariq, however, is intrigued by something outside and goes over to the window when suddenly a crossbow bolt pierces his head, instantly killing him. All in the dining room panic as they find themselves under attack by an unknown crossbowman. Drake gets shot in the back and everyone takes cover. Aaron says to call 911, but their mobile phone signals are blocked from the attacker. Safely retreating to the foyer, Felix suggests that someone should run to the cars and go get help. Amy says that she is the faster amongst them, and so steps up and prepares herself. As the front doors open, Amy runs outside, but upon leaving the threshold, she falls on a wire set around the house and cuts her throat. Everyone is in shock watching Amy bleed to death, but not Aaron, who immediately runs upstairs and tries to find a way out of this dire situation. She advises Kristen and the rest to keep the doors and windows locked at all times, and tries to think of ways of reaching out to the police. In the meantime, Aubrey, who is devastated by the loss of her daughter, is grieving alone in her bedroom when a man with a fox mask appears from under the bed and kills her with his machete. The rest of the family hear her scream and rush upstairs, only to find Aubrey dead and the words, "You're next," written on the wall with her blood. Meanwhile, Aaron is attacked in the kitchen by another man who wears a tiger mask, but manages to evade him and injure him. Paul and his children are devastated by Aubrey's death, and they leave the room in order to pull themselves together. Kelly is now left alone with Aubrey. She covers her dead mother-in-law with a sheet when she hears a sound coming from under the bed. She kneels to check and gets scared by the fox-masked man that she flees in terror, screaming. Kelly opens the front door and, avoiding the wire, runs away as far as possible. Drake follows her, but the bolt sticking out of his back gets caught on a wire and causes him tremendous pain. He pulls the bolt out and the pain causes him to pass out. Kelly can't seem to control herself, running and screaming for help. Crispin and Aaron get Drake back inside the house, and Crispin volunteers to go to the cars and get help. In the meantime, Kelly reaches Eric's house and tries to get inside. She screams at him to let her in, and soon afterwards, she is attacked by the lamb-masked man. Kelly tries to crawl away, but the killer swings an axe into her head as if he were playing golf. Crispin reaches the cars, but shortly after returns to the house and says that there is no one out there. He tells them that he is going to get help and leaves again. Aaron organizes the rest when all of a sudden Kelly's lifeless body is tossed through the window. The Tiger Mask Man enters and attacks Aaron with his axe. But, swift, Aaron avoids his swings and hits him with a meat tenderizer before proceeding to pulverize his skull. Paul, who has gone upstairs, witnesses now a weird set of articles in the closet he tried to open the day before. Momentarily the power is out, and Paul is startled by Felix and Z. He tells them that the murderers were in the house stalking them for days. He also mentions that this wasn't a random attack, when unexpectedly the Fox Mask Man grabs him and slits his throat. Felix and Z stand apathetically as Paul bleeds out. It is obvious enough that they are part of this murderous act. The Lamb Mask Man enters the house and sees the Tiger Mask Man is dead. Enraged by this, he turns the big dining table over. Aaron is silently watching from a hidden compartment. The Lamb Masked Man searches for her when Drake, who has been hidden behind a curtain, regains consciousness and stands up. The Lamb Masked Man attempts to kill him, but Aaron intervenes and injures him. The murderer then, seeing he doesn't stand a chance, flees. Aaron locks the door and talks to Drake until Felix and Z arrive. Felix lies to Aaron about his father, and Aaron takes them down to the basement to arm themselves. As Aaron shows Z how to nail a board, it is revealed that Aaron had a weird childhood, growing up with a paranoid father who above all else taught her how to be resourceful in times like this. At the basement, Felix accidentally tells Drake that Kelly is dead. Drake shouts at Felix, at which he gets stabbed by his brother. Felix kills Drake, stabbing him multiple times. In the meantime, Z attempts to kill Aaron with a nailed board, but misses her opportunity when Aaron turns around. Going upstairs, Aaron discovers Paul's dead body. Z unlocks the front door and Aaron sees the Fox Mask Man coming for her. She throws her knife at him and jumps through the window, injuring herself on the way down. Avoiding a crossbow bolt, Aaron manages to return to the house and hides, mending the wound in her leg. In the meantime, the Lamb Mask Man steps on a wooden nail board made by Aaron and pierces his foot. The Fox Mask Man goes downstairs to check up on his accomplice. Z tries to coax Felix into having sex with her, but gets turned down. Felix goes to the dining room and scolds the Lamb Masked Man for taking his boot off, something that will leave incriminating evidence. It is revealed here that Felix has paid these assassins to take out his family in order to get his hands on the inheritance money. Their performance against Aaron, however, has proven to be quite poor. A violent disagreement erupts between Felix and the Lamb Masked Man when the criminal party is alerted to Aaron's location by a notification on her mobile phone. Aaron lies in wait and surprises the Lamb Masked Man, hitting him in the neck. She runs away, and the rest hunt her. Aaron surprises the Lamb Masked Man again, stabbing him in his eye and ultimately killing him. The Fox Masked Man gives his crossbow to Felix and directs him what to do if he sees Aaron. He then enters the house. Aaron notices him and goes to the basement, killing the lights by smashing the light bulbs. The Fox Masked Man descends to the basement, but Aaron blinds him with a camera flash, whereupon she attacks him and bludgeons him to death. Reaching the foyer, Felix tries to kill Aaron with the crossbow, but fails. Z goes after Aaron and locates her in the kitchen. Felix follows and a wild fight begins between the three. Although Aaron is injured and outnumbered, she succeeds in killing Felix with a working blender to his head and Z with a knife in her head. As Aaron gets down to take a breath, she answers Felix's phone. She hears Crispin asking if it is over. Aaron is enraged to learn of her boyfriend's association with the ruthless killers. As Crispin enters the house, Aaron awaits him with a knife in her hand. Crispin tells her that the plan was for her to be unharmed, as she was supposed to be the witness that would testify that lunatics murdered his entire family. Aaron finds that hard to believe. Crispin apologizes and tries to convince Aaron to stay with him and get the money. Aaron, however, is so disgusted by him that she stabs him in the neck and then his eye, killing him. But, almost immediately, Aaron gets shot by a police officer standing outside the window. Heavily injured, Aaron crawls to the door as the police officer signals for an ambulance. As he returns to the house, he slowly opens the door to come inside. Aaron tries to warn him, but it is too late. A booby trap is triggered and an axe falls on the unlucky man's head.